Going? Okay, so yeah, we are 7 seconds live. What's going on, guys? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. It is Sunday, Easter Sunday, of course, so happy Easter to all of you. But we're going to jump right into Sunday Stock Watch, of course. I don't remember what I even titled this one. I think I'm going to talk about how to go about using TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim and how I use it specifically for scanning for potential stocks, ETFs, etc. that I will be considering at least trading throughout the week, as well as like how to add to a watch list, all that good stuff. Some of this will probably be a refresher to me just because not all of this do I do every single day. Obviously, I have my active like ETF watch list over here that I use on the daily, and then I have more of just my active watch list that I look from time to time that I really don't update all too often, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. But real quick, I didn't know if you guys would be interested in hitting on Snapchat. Obviously, didn't mean to do that. But obviously, as you can see, of late, it has been trending below the 100, I believe the 180-day SMA. I'll go ahead and go push out to the 180-day. Yeah, it's been, well, it had been the SMA. It hasn't really been acting as a resistance or support, in all honesty. It acted as a support roughly for about, what, a month or two? Not even two, about a month. And as you can see, every time it got close, the 1 or 2 times it did get close to the SMA, it bounced off of it. Now it looks to be actively trending down below it. And as you can see, Snapchat had this pretty big push up from what, $13, $14 all the way up to 22 in a period of like a week. But then it's kind of just been trending down ever since. There's been a lot of, I wouldn't say negative news, but a lot of just celebrities kind of hating on Snapchat, to say the least. Like, what was there, Rihanna as of late, and Chris Brown maybe, and then who else? I know there were a few other celebrities, like one of the Kardashians or something like that, or Jenner, I don't know, I don't keep up with them. But anyways, the whole point of Snapchat, why we want to look at it, it has been actively trending down below the SMA. It's been acting as a resistance. Every time it gets close to it, it gets pushed down. And as you can see here, I kind of put my little low as around 15.50, and as you can see, it hit a low 15.55 and kind of got rejected from that and kind of bounced back up all the way to highs of what, around just over $16, and now we're trending right around $15.80 to $16. So there's not really much to look out for Snapchat. That's why I wanted to talk about this one. Was no, I'm not saying you guys should invest in it whatsoever. I'm saying the total opposite with what's going on right here. You can see this little intersection point. I would wait for a few days and see what really happens. Is it going to continue to just be a turd, so to speak, and just keep trending down? Has decent volume behind it, but I mean, it's just getting rejected by that SMA over and over and over. So I just would not invest in it personally. As you can see, I have alert set up here around 17, because if it can somehow reverse and start to trend back up, I would consider investing after 17, probably around 17.10, somewhere around there, and then sell off just above 8, probably around, I have it marked at 802, but I'd probably dump between 18 and 18.50. It just depends. If it has this spike back up where it can possibly hit that 22 mark again, then who knows, I might ride it up. But you never want to be too greedy, just cover profits. But I do not see that happening in the near future. So I'm just saying, for now, I would stay away from Snapchat. Let me see how we're doing right now. So it says our stream health's doing okay. Don't have nothing going on in the chat. Hopefully the fan's not too loud in the background. I just got the fan on because it's a little stuffy in here. But yeah. So anyways, so now we'll go ahead and just talk about what I also titled the video, which is like, how do you use TD Ameritrade specifically for like watch list, and just to really look how do I go about doing like my own due diligence, so to speak, like analysis of stocks. So you'll go over here once you get your TD Ameritrade set up. What I realized is I don't have a video about how to actually set up your TD Ameritrade. I have one about how to get real-time data. As you can see, I have real-time data up here with no lag, 20-minute, 15-minute, whatever lag whatsoever. If you guys want a video on how to actually go about completely like registering and setup, just let me know, and I can like try to create a dummy account, so to speak. Obviously, I won't be able to go all the way through because I'll need another social security number, I think, but I would definitely do that for you guys if you want. But anyway, so once you're in TD Ameritrade, you would just go, you have your charts, obviously, I think whenever you first like open up your TD Ameritrade for the first time, your Thinkorswim, I think you're like in the monitor tab, if I remember right. I don't know which one exactly you start out in. There's like a home page, so to speak. I think, okay, here it is, home screen. So you start out like this. So what you'll want to do, because obviously I'm always in charts, I always start off in charts. But when I'm looking for stocks that I might be wanting to trade in the upcoming week or maybe weeks, I mean in general, it's just ones that I'm kind of looking out for to see if they're going to be big movers or not. You can see I was kind of, like I said, I've been messing around, like just doing my own due diligence homework with penny stocks. Obviously I'm not investing in penny stocks or trading penny stocks whatsoever currently, other than occasionally like one at the most. I never trade like 2 penny stocks at the same time whatsoever. Just too much volatility. I want to make sure that I make my 3% or so per day at the minimum. And with penny stocks, yes, you can make 10, 20, 30% quick, but you can also lose 10, 20, 30% or more quick. So I've just been kind of just playing around with that, not too often. As you can see here, I have it set up where you would just add a filter, and then you would add your stock percent change, the volume, and then I have book value per share current. And then from there you can just kind of play with it. You can make it lower, you can make it higher. For this instance, I'm going to make it higher. You can also type it in like I'm about to do. So for now, we're just going to say we want to mess with ETFs that are like, let's say $10 at the minimum. And then at the maximum, we'll do, let's say 30 bucks. Because when you have a small, I know most of you guys have smaller accounts starting out. Even those of you with bigger accounts, I mean, you're not going to want to start out huge with like $100 plus shares, stocks for the most part. So, and then what we'll do with volume is we're going to go with 1 million. So you need to do 3 zeros, right? Or no, 6 zeros. I don't know. Let me see. We'll see how that looks. I might be wrong there. Yeah, it's 100,000. So we need 3 more zeros, right? I think. Let's see how that looks. That might be more. That's 100 million. I always forget. I'm not a millionaire or anything, so I don't know how many zeros to be exact. So 6 zeros. Okay. Anyways, so we'll go with 1 million, and then let's just say 100 million to keep things simple here. Do it like that, maybe. So then what we'll do is, for the minimum, for your percent change, I would up this to probably like minus, I don't know, let's say minus 15%. And then, I mean, you just really want to play with it at the end of the day. Like you can, if you don't really like the stocks that you're seeing with a certain one, obviously you can go in and play with it. And then for max, you're going to want to do some positives as well. I'll do like 10%. I don't really like to do too much on the positive because, just because there's a chance that it's obviously going to go back down if it's just a bounce or something. So I really don't like doing no higher than 10% generally when I'm searching. So then we'll go ahead and do scan. I like having my show as 50, just because I don't want to see too much at one time. So then, as you can see here, we got some that are up only about 1% or 2%. And then we have minus 9%. It's at 291. That's more of a penny stock. I wouldn't really want to mess with that. I don't know why that's actually there. I thought that I had this. Maybe I have this wrong, actually. Book value. Dividend payout. I might have the wrong one here, actually. I might need to change this. Like I said, I'll do a future video for sure just on everything. I'm just trying to do like a quick overview so you guys know what to do exactly to at least get to this point where you can start looking at stocks. But as you can see, like you can see the volume behind it. The volume is what I pay attention to the most. The volume and the change. That's what I pay attention to the most. Just because if the smaller the volume it has, the more likely I'm not gonna trade it. Like this one with 9 million, yeah, it's pretty much. Actually, it's not really a penny stock. Penny stock's like under $5. But as you see, I mean, it has good volume. So I mean, let's take a look at this NBR. So we'll go back over here to your charts, and then we'll do NBR. So if we want to look at the 100, I always want to look at the 180-day first. So as you can see, this almost has. This actually might be a good stock to consider because it has it's like the chart goes more horizontal than like just straight down or straight up. Like if it was trending down, I wouldn't want to invest in it. Like what is one that's trending down? Seed, I think. Let's look at Seed real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Seed is doing what? Kind of, it has a descending pattern. If you look overall, you can see that overall it's trending down. I wouldn't really want to consider trading seed other than for like a quick day trade potentially. And as of right now, no, it's a turd. It keeps going down and down and down. There's no telling how much further it's going to go down. But going back to like MBR, what this reminds me a lot of is Tesla. I mean, look at Tesla. Are we on the 180 day? This looks a lot different. I think I must have messed with my chart. Somebody's been messing with my stuff because it did not look quite like this. But anyways, as you see, what's with, like, look at Tesla. It's doing what? Obviously it's had a huge sell-off lately. There's a lot of news with Tesla going on. But overall, look, it's like what? It's going from side to side. Not a whole bunch of straight down or straight up. Obviously straight up would be great, but we definitely want to stay away from descending patterns. But let's go back. What was that? MBR. So this one might be a good potential trade, because if we look here, we can identify support right around here. Let's go ahead and just make it long. Go ahead like that. So we identify support right around 641. It's currently around $7. It had a sell-off, so let's go ahead. I mean, look what happens. It has a sell-off. What does it do? It kind of bounces back for a while and then shoots up. So let's see. It had a sell-off right around here. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. So it got as low recently as what? Just about $6 when the support is where? Right around 640. As you can see, it went below that support. Boom. Got rejected and kind of went back up. However, if you look at the SMA indicator, it might be acting as a resistance for the 180 day. The RSI isn't really showing that it's overbought or anything. MACD is showing that it might be a potential good time to get ready to buy into this. However, when you look, I might want to wait. Let's look at the recent trend. Let's look at 20 day. And we'll go ahead and just zoom in right here. So yeah, the SMA is kind of, actually let me zoom back out because I wanted to see what the SMA is doing lately. So the SMA has been acting as a support the last 20 days. Every time it's gotten below it, what has it done? It's gone right back up. I mean, let's look at the potential and look at the potential for ROI right here. So obviously you want to wait for some confirmation. So you write it up. You're not looking at huge profits, about 3%. But like I said, if you can do 3% a day, you're doing a lot of market cannot do. And then let's say you waited till about, let's say you wanted to wait, you didn't want to mess with 3%. Let's say you wanted to like ride it up. Say you wanted to wait for some true confirmation right around 715, and you wrote it up here. Look at that, 6.5% potential right there. And now, is it guaranteed to go back up around this high? No. But I mean, let's say you wanted to wait for, I mean, I might have some confirmation here already by looking right here. I'm going to try to wait for it to break above the SMA to make sure that the SMA is still going to act as a support. I do believe it will, but I'm going to wait probably until about 709. So then where I want to ride it to is probably right around here, around 738. Look at that, about 4% profit, guys. So I mean, this one I might actually add to my list. So then what you would do is go over here. Let's say you want to add this to your watch list. So what you're going to do is go over here to this blue. Obviously there's two here. It can get confusing at times. What you're going to do is go to the blue one where it says symbol actions. And then you're going to do add MBR to watch list. And then what I'm going to do is put on my active watch list. So then boom, you see it right there, MBR. So yeah, I mean, this one I actually really might consider investing in this week, or trading this week. It's currently at 6.99. Let's look at the 1 day on it. See how it's going to go a little bit. I'm kind of interested in this stock. So it shows. So I look for it to probably dip a little in the morning tomorrow, probably around like 6.90. Maybe not quite 6.9. It might go ahead and bounce off this SMA right here, right around 6.92. But I do look for it to kind of push down a little. However, like I said, if we go ahead and even just look at the 5 day, it has huge potential. It's on the 5 day, it's already above the SMA. So yeah, I do look for it to go ahead and kind of bounce around 6.90. I look for it to have a minor sell-off, maybe pre-market hours in the morning. And then from there, I'm going to wait for some form of confirmation. I'll probably wait till around, like I said, I'm probably going to wait till around like 7:05 before I invest. And then where am I going to ride it up to? Probably around 750 personally. And then looking there, that has 6% profit, guys. So I mean, if I can get 4 to 6% out of the stock, yeah, that's why I think I didn't even see the RSI here. I wasn't paying attention. That's why I do believe also. I mean, it just kind of confirms to me personally that we're going to see some kind of a pullback. I don't know why I say sell off all the time. We're going to see some kind of a pullback just because look at the RSI and look at the MACD. MACD is showing also that it's probably going to start trending down for a little bit. How long? Who knows? Not a big deal. I'll keep an eye on it first thing in the morning. That's another thing. Tomorrow morning, I hope to be able to do a live stream, my first ever live stream, like trading where you guys will literally see me doing like my own analysis on these stocks live, like real time. Like I'll pretty much just say whatever I'm thinking about a specific stock that I'm considering investing in. You'll literally, it might be boring, who knows, it's gonna be my first one, but we're just gonna, I'll sit here and just watch a stock like Drip or Gush or any of these. I'll just sit here and literally watch it for a few minutes. I'll bounce back and forth, and then yeah, you'll literally see what my exact moves, how many shares I'm gonna buy, when I'm gonna sell. I plan on being done by noon tomorrow. That's my goal, is to be done by noon. How long will I stay live? Probably not the whole time, because that'd be like a 4 or 5 hour stream. But yeah. So anyways, just something to be on the lookout for. Tomorrow I'll probably go live around, I don't know, I'm assuming 8:15 in the morning, just about 15 minutes before market opens. Here in Central Time, I'm in the Dallas area, Garland, Texas to be exact. If any of you are in Texas, let me know. That would be awesome. Figure out where everybody's from. But anyways, back to the stock. Yes, I do look for it to have a pullback in the morning. But could I be wrong? Yeah. Could it go ahead and start shooting up? Yes. And if it does, I'm gonna wait. Just go ahead and see how my indicators look. I do not think it will, just because look at the MACD, and just look what it did at the end of Friday or Thursday. It kind of started consolidating here right around $7, and even started to have a little, I wouldn't say a dip, but it's starting to kind of show signs that, like the MACD shows, it has signs that it's getting ready to start trending down. But on the 1 day, it also shows that the RSI isn't too bad. So it's just something to look out for. Could it go ahead and just bust right through and go ahead and keep going? Yes. But what confirmation am I going to wait for? Probably, like I said, around 7:05. Because if I wait until 7:05, go ahead and ride it up, even to like 7. Let's say I say there's a resistance here right around 7:30. You're still talking almost 4% profit. So I don't want to ride this one too long. There's other stocks I want to get to and show you guys a little bit more about this, about the scanner and whatnot. But yeah, let me go ahead and see if we got any questions. No questions right now. Make sure that the stream's still doing all right. Already 16, 17 minutes in, and we've only gone over one stock. And hopefully, like I said, I hope the volume and everything's good. My mic, I got my mic a little closer. I'm actually like at a desk today, where when I shot the video, I shot it on our bed. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's like kind of just about 2 feet away from me. But yeah, that video I kind of just threw together really quick because I wanted to get something out for you guys, and I think it was a decent video. It's got some good view time and whatnot, so apparently it wasn't too bad for the quality. I just want to bring you guys the best content possible, and of course keep it going out consistent for you all. But yeah, so if we want to go ahead and go back over to the scanner, so like I said, we already added MBR. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other ones, see what we want to look at here. So I always look, when I'm like scrolling down, I don't necessarily look at the percentages quite as much. I look at the volume first and then the percent. It's like this one has 12 million, almost 13 million volume behind it, and it only went up about 1% on Friday. But I'll go ahead and take a look at it. OAS. So what we'll do is we'll go back over here to charts. Then we'll go to OAS. So if, like I said, always want to look at the 180-day first. This one isn't too bad. It's not great. Let's go ahead and look at the 1 year. So the 1 year isn't too bad. Obviously, it had this sell-off earlier last year, late last year, or no, this was middle last year into, you know what I'm saying, about a year ago. It had a sell-off, and it seems to be trying to, it showed signs that it was kind of going back up. But what's the SMA doing for the last year? The SMA has been acting as what? Resistance or support? Resistance. Every time it has gone above that SMA, what's it done? It's gotten rejected over and over. The SMA is kind of flatlined for now. So could the SMA potentially be showing signs that it wants to go back up? Yes. Will it? Who's to say? Sometimes it flatlines, then continues to go down. So if I go back to my 180-day chart, 180-day SMA, what has it done? Pretty much the same thing. It got above the SMA for a while, and then what did it do? It had this big sell-off, and then it acted as a resistance again. It acted as a support briefly. You can see the little bull pattern right here, shot up. But then what happened? We saw this bear pattern, and then boom, it has sell-off. So this one, I'm not really too sure if I want to consider it or not. It's not really a big mover. It's pretty much a penny stock almost. You can identify support right here around 17. I would say what? Let's go ahead and say like 1780, somewhere in there, 1782. So we'll identify support right around there. If I can get my line straight, there we go. And then we identify resistance where? Right around, we'll go ahead and do a recent resistance. We'll go ahead and say that there is one pretty much right at 1848, 1850, somewhere in there. Boom. So now, if we go ahead and look at, say, the 10 or 20 day, let's start out with 20 day, look, we're pretty much dead on with our support and resistance that we drew out. And the SMA also acts what? As a resistance. I mean, I wouldn't call it a true resistance because you can see, I mean, it does break above it, and that's where you can cash out on your profits. And it's showing the signs of a potential reversal. There's some huge volume behind it, like we said, 13 million almost behind it. So, I mean, it could continue to push up. I'm going to wait for a sign of confirmation. I'm probably going to wait till around 1820, 820, around there. I would ride it up. I'd probably sell off right around here, around 849. Look at that, 3.5% profit. So by looking at the recent chart, like I said, the 180 day doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, let's go ahead, if you want to look at a 180 day that doesn't tell the whole story, I mean, let's look at like Gush and Drip. What does Gush show? I mean, yes, it's kind of what? Horizontal, so that's a good thing. But then, I mean, look, it shows signs that it has sell-offs over and over. But then if you look as of like the last, quarter, it shows that it's trending up. And I don't really necessarily care about trending up or down. Trending up is obviously better for like swing trading. If you don't have a lot of time to be doing this stuff, then yes, I would definitely tell you guys to, shoot, I forgot the name of that, what was it, OAS? I would definitely tell you guys to like stay away from ones that are a little higher volatile. But for those of you that can check yours even like a couple times a day if you're at a job or whatever, I mean, day trading is definitely the way to go. But anyways, point being is sometimes by looking at the 180 day, it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. The one thing I do like is that it's pretty horizontal still. That's what I look for the most, is it horizontal? If it's not, if it doesn't at least look somewhat horizontal, then I tend to stay away from it, even though there's not a huge potential like ROI or anything. I mean, let's look at the 5 day even. 5 day has been what? Trending above our support. You can't even see our support here. But if you look at like the 10 day, you can still see the support. So is there a chance that it could kind of go up above? I might wait for this SMA. I might wait for it to break above the SMA because obviously the SMA acts somewhat as a resistance. So could it go ahead and get rejected and bounce down here to like 1780-ish again? I don't think it'll go quite to 1780. I didn't see 1785 is the recent low, and it got rejected and pushed up. I mean, if you got in right around here, around 8, and wrote it up, I mean, you made 7% profit in literally one day. Say you got in this day, by the next day, you made your 7-8%. And for those of you that don't know, if you don't know much about TD Ameritrade, these like black areas are your days, and then these grays are like your after hours and pre-market hours. So like your evening and morning, so to speak. So if you guys didn't know that, I try to mention that at least once every stream. Sometimes I forget. But yeah, I mean, if you were to get in right around here, which I personally would not because I'm just not that kind of trader. I hate investing or trading whenever something's like consolidating. It kind of consolidated this whole day. And then it finally shot up. I would have been the guy that waited until like that morning and invested in here and would have only made like 3%. But like I said, I would rather make 3% than risk potentially going back down and losing what? Let's see how much you would have lost if it were to go down. You would have lost almost 3%. I'd rather make 3% than lose 3% any day of the week. I think most of us are like that. So I'll go ahead and probably add this to my watch list. I don't know for how long, but what I'll do is, like I said, I'll wait for it to break above, just barely. I'm probably talking 825, because then look, right there, about 3%. I would want to get probably 3%. I'll probably push it to about 850, just to get my 3%. But I want to wait for it to break above the recent SMA. If it does that, I'll go ahead and invest in. However, if it shows signs of consolidation right around that, then I will not, because that shows signs of potentially getting ready to do this number, because it could easily do this and then do this. So you're talking 3 to 5% potential loss there, versus if you were to hop in early, you're talking maybe 1%, which I mean is still good. I mean, you're getting positive, but most people, when they see that their account's only going up 1%, one, you're going to get discouraged because you're not making much at all. You're making $1 per every $100 invested, so that's not very good, obviously. But then two, you start to kind of get greedy and kind of gambling. You're like, well, I think like you'll kind of try to talk yourself out of a trade instead of just cutting losses or covering profits, you'll look at the recent and be like, well, I really think we could hit 840, and then next thing you know, you have to look away for a few minutes, you're at the job or something, boom, you're down 2 or 3% before you know it. So that's why I personally am going to wait, just see what it does. There's nothing wrong. The best trade you can make is to not make a trade at all. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait on it. I'll go ahead and add it to my watch list, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over this one or anything. Yes, there's a good potential profit. I have more confidence in MBR in all honesty than OAS. I'll say that now. I'll go ahead and hop in the ETFs here in a minute, because I know a lot of you guys probably like the whole ETFs, because I mean, what do? They show consistent profits. Why? Because as one goes down, what does the other one do? Go up. You can literally play you can literally play each one of them back and forth. So one goes up, go ahead and hop on it and ride it up. As it shows that it shows signs to get down and get out and do what? Hop in the other one. Just literally alternate between the two. That's why I love ETFs. I mean, you're not gonna just smack it out of the ballpark and get 7 to 10% a day or anything. But I mean, if you can get 2.5, 3 to 5% a day, you're doing what 95% of the market cannot do, guys. That's what I cannot stress enough. Let me see if we got anything going on here. I can't tell if it's loading or I think we're all loaded up. It's not. Nothing going on. Make sure that we're still doing all right. So we're at 26 minutes. But I mean, yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you want me to go over anything in the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, let me know. Man, I'm on this wooden stool and it's not very comfortable. But at least I'm getting this video up for you guys. I'm going to try to have something more comfortable tomorrow since I'm going to be sitting here for a few hours. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and hop into the ETFs. Like I said, I mean, you can literally go through this all day. And I mean, I really suggest you guys one evening, just, wow, I might look at this, 25 million behind it, down 11%. GME, let's go ahead and look at that. That might be a gem right there. GME, now watch it be a total turd. I mean, it has 25 million behind it. Had a pretty big sell. Oh, it's GameStop. Wow, no wonder it has so much behind it. What the hell happened with GameStop? So if you look at the 180 day though, what is it doing? It's trending down. So that's something I don't like. However, it has had these sell-offs in the past. Look, they almost look identical. Every single one. Look, we have another one right here. So I mean, it's had this sell-off, and then I would wait until like right here. Look at that potential. But this would be a swing trade. So for those of you who are swing trading, I'd watch out for this. You're not looking at huge for a swing trade, but I mean, you're looking at 12% for a swing trade, which is not bad. What's RSI showing? That's oversold. Again, this one might be a good potential swing trade, actually. Let's look at the 10-day on it. Or not 10-day. Let's look at the 5-day. So it was at around 1450. See how far it went down. So it went down about 15%. So yeah, it had one hell of a sell-off. It's kind of consolidating here around 1250, 1260. I mean, you could potentially day trade this too. So I mean, look right here, 3%. But I don't know. There's just something about day trading blue chip. I don't even know if this is a blue chip stock actually. I need to look that up tonight, because I was looking at GameStop a while back. It was in my watch list if you guys ever seen it. But what's it doing? It's trending below. I believe it's trending below the 180-day EMA. Yup. Every time it gets above it, what's it do? It gets rejected. Even lately, like the 10-day, still acting as a resistance. However, there is, I didn't see this. This shows what? Bull. This is kind of a bull pattern right here. So, let's look at the potential here. I personally would wait for a break above 1305, right around 1305. Look at that. If you ride it up to even just a little bit close to this, 5%. And that might be like within 1 week. This might not even be like a huge swing trade. Because as you can see, I mean, it shows signs that it could move 2 to 3% or more per day. So, GameStop, I might actually go ahead. I'll go ahead and add this one too, because I mean, there's no hurry. You can put as many in here as you want. I wouldn't add too much, because then you start to kind of overwhelm yourself. At first, I would create just 2 watch lists like I have right here. I'm going to go ahead and add this really quick. I would just create 2 watch lists, and then when you're first starting out, if you want, you can do an ETF list similar to mine if you like the ETF route. But even then, I wouldn't add all these ETFs personally. I would start out with ones like the safe ones, like DGAS, UGAS, Drip, Gush, JDST and JNUG maybe. If not JDST and JNUG, then GasL and GasX. But yeah, I wouldn't like add a whole bunch. And like with your active watch list, I wouldn't put no more than like 5, maybe 10 at the most. And I don't mean you need to trade these. I'm saying just as your active watch list that you are watching, you just don't want to confuse yourself. You might start thinking that you saw trends with a certain stock or ETF, and then it ends up being a different one. That's just me personally, though. I just wouldn't. I mean, even me, like, I'll probably go through here sometime this week. I'm probably going to remove AMD from mine. I'm probably going to remove OTIC from mine. I'm probably going to remove BPMX, maybe. I'm probably going to go ahead and remove Kim, too. I mean, I go through I try to go through at least once a week and just go through and just clean it out, because something that you might be watching one day might be like, oh, hell no, there's no way I'm investing or trading this the next. So, I mean, it's good every few days to a week to just go through your watch list and clean it out. And it just kind of feels like, it's almost like cleaning your house. Like, you just feel so relieved after getting it done. But, yeah, so pretty much I'm just going to wait for it to try to break above 1305. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and watch it. But, yeah, we're pretty much, I'm gonna wrap that up for the scanner. But, yeah, if you all want, you can take a look at how my scanner is. Like I said, I think I have this wrong. I need to go back in here and mess with this, because it's showing ones that are below $10, which I don't know why. But, that's not necessarily a horrible thing. But, yeah, I'll do a whole in-depth video on how to set up the perfect scanner in the near future for you guys when I get back home. This might be my new home actually here before long. That's very exciting. I'll have news on that in the future for sure. But yeah, like I said, I'll have a video on this. But anyways, if we go back to charts, I'm gonna make sure we don't have any questions. No questions. Are we still doing all right on the stream? I hope so. If anything ever happens on the stream, let me know so I can try to get whatever it is resolved. But so obviously, as of late, what have I been trading? Gush and Drip. You all know that I have been a lot. And what's the SMA been doing for Drip the last, I mean, what, probably month? I mean, let's look at 20 day. It's been acting as what? A support. And what does it do? Every time it breaks well below that support, what does it do? It has a huge push up in like 1 or 2 days. And what we're seeing here, we're starting to see signs of a huge push up again for 1 or 2, maybe even 3 days. So I am definitely considering, there's just something about Gush that, like, I feel like we have a pretty hard resistance right around $24.50 to $25. So for that reason, that's why I have not, I day traded Gush and Drip, both of them in the same day. But overall, there's just something about Gush that just, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I just don't like. I mean, there is potential for ROI, obviously. I mean, if you got in here right around 22.25 and rode it up, say you even sold off here, look at that, 7% profit in 1 day. But me personally, I've been day trading the hell out of Drip. You guys know that. Thank God I could not invest anything on Friday or Thursday because Drip had a horrible day, and I probably would have jumped on the bandwagon thinking it was, because I even said, I told you guys I saw signs of a potential reversal with what was going on. I mean, look, right around here when it hit low of 1177, what did it do? It kept making new high lows lately and new higher highs. I mean, obviously this was the highest, and it had a sell-off for 2 days. But what had it been doing? It had been kind of trending up the last, like, whole market week. So I was like, we might be seeing signs of reversal. However, I want to see what it does once it gets above that SMA. And it did. It had a good day above the SMA. That's why I even told you guys, I think it was, what day was that? The 28th. So that was what? Wednesday, I think? Yeah, Wednesday. I even told you guys, I think we are seeing somewhat of a reversal. But I was wrong. And after market, post-market hours and pre-market hours, we started seeing a sell-off. I was like, okay, well, still trending above the EMA. Let's see what happens. And sure enough, started trending below, and it just kept going down and down and down. However, what is it showing right here? Showing signs of oversold. So if we look at the 1 day, what is it doing? The 1 day actually shows. See, you gotta be careful with your indicators because, like, 1 day to 5 day to 10 day can be so different. The 5 day here is what I like to look at the most when it comes to ETFs. What I'm going to look for is probably for Drip. If you were to invest in Drip, I'd wait for it to break above like 1240, say 1245. and then I personally would ride it up here to around like 12.77. Like I say, you're not looking with huge profits with drip, but I'm getting a consistent like 2.7 to 3% a day with drip, and as long as I keep seeing consistent growth, I won't really complain as long as it's like above 2%. Anything below 2% just isn't really worth the time. I mean, at least it's profits. If you're starting out with profits and you're only getting like 1.5, 2%, not a big deal at all. I mean, you're still getting profits, doing what 90% of the market cannot do. I can't say that enough. But longer term, you want to try to get at least 2.5, 3.5 to 5%. Obviously, whenever I first started, I had a bunch of red days, red trades, and I actually ended March slightly red, like minus 2%, but that's thanks to seed, all the penny stocks I was messing with. I'm actually going to have a video for that, actually, for you guys, like my whole March spreadsheet, just to show you guys straight up how I was trading, how I am trading now, just so you guys can kind of see that, like, I'm doing what I preach to you guys, not just kind of doing a whole bunch of stuff anymore. But, yeah, so I mean, you're not looking at huge profit margin with drip, but if you go back and look at Gush, I mean, if you look at the overall pattern of Gush, what does it keep doing? If we look at the 20-day, it keeps, not 20-day, I think I wanted to look at the 30-day. If we look at the last month, the month of March, what did it keep doing? It kept trending up, and I should have caught this here. I should have known, but I was so stuck on drip because I was making 2 to 3% a day on drip. I mean, if you look at the overall pattern, it had done this over and over. It would kind of have a sell-off, a big pullback of what, like 10%, right around there, 14%. It'd have a big sell-off, and what would it do? It'd go right back up 10 to 14%. So, I mean, could we potentially see drip go ahead and shoot up another 7-8%, make a new high around $26? Sure, because what's it doing? It keeps making new highs almost every single time it shoots back up, and lately we've been kind of seeing this resistance around 25. So could this pullback, sell off, whatever you wish to call it, be what we needed for it to go ahead and push up and make new highs? Yes. So I mean, now that I'm actually looking at this 30-day a lot more, I'm having more confidence now that the SMA is trending up. I'm probably gonna go ahead and day trade drip still, and I might hold Gush for maybe 2 days, but you guys will see that tomorrow. I mean, I might do something totally different by tomorrow. It just depends on how the market does when it opens. I do look for a slight pullback on Gush in the morning, so I might do kind of what I did, what was it, last Tuesday or Wednesday, where I like day traded drip and then hopped in Gush and then sold Gush the next morning. I think that was what I did, something like that. So like when the sell-off happened, I caught Gush as it started to go up. Well, I mean, I caught drip as it started to go up because Gush had a minor pullback, and I made like 2.5% off of drip that day. And then I rode Gush up and then sold it off for like another 3%, something like that. Just consistent 3% around there per day. So it just depends. And then with drip, I mean not drip, JDST and what was the other one? JNUG. There's some crazy stuff going on with these two. I mean, I can't get a grasp on them, so I haven't been trading them. Obviously, I sold off my JDST shares for like, what was like 13% loss just because I got sick of watching it drop. That's where, like I said, set your limits, your limit loss at like minus 2 or 3%. Save yourself the heartache of having to cut losses at like 13%. Because I honestly thought JDST was just going to keep going down. Sure enough, it didn't. I mean, what did it get up to? Like $57, I think. Yeah, around like $57. So I was like kicking myself for that. I would have made like $1 profit per share, but I didn't want to hold it. I had sold off where? Down here. I actually traded it when it started to go back up, but it started consolidating, and I was like, you know what, I'm sick of this stock, sick of this ETF, whatever, and I went ahead and sold off. So it is what it is. So me personally, I'm not really messing with JDST or JNUG, because it's just one of those things. If you don't understand something, don't invest in it. I keep trying to understand these ETFs, but I mean, look, I mean, I'm so wrong. I mean, I'm pretty right with this. I think I'm pretty spot on with my resistance. It might be a little lower, around 15.15, because it keeps getting rejected there. But I mean, overall, I don't really understand these ETFs right now. Could I in the near future? And then the opposite happen with Gush and Drip or some other ETFs? Sure. But as of now, I'm not really investing in JDST or JNUG. And then other ones that I'm kind of looking at is GasL and GasX. I think I want to look at the 180-day first. So yeah, look, huge sell-off. And then if we look at GasX, what are we going to see? Push up. But it's consolidating. I think they're both consolidating, actually. GasL. yeah, they're kind of consolidating. But however, if you look right here, what do you see a potential of? You see a support right around 16.16. If I can get it, maybe. There we go. And then we see resistance where? Right around 19.22. If I can get that, maybe. Come on. A little bit more. There. So what's your potential profit? Like right now, I'd probably consider investing in Gas L. Where's it at? Right now it's around 17.37. Say you have to get in around 17.47. Ride it up. Look at that. Whew, 10% profit there, guys. But that's obviously if it gets like to the high resistance. The resistance is currently right around what, like 18.22. So I mean, let's say you wrote it up to 18.22 even. Let's say you even did it earlier, 18.17. 5.5% profit. So these are ones that I'm definitely keeping a close eye on for sure. And the good thing about when they're consolidating like this, quote unquote consolidating, I mean obviously there's a lot of swinging going on, plus or minus 5 to 10%. But the good thing about these is you can do about what I was doing with Gush and Drip. You can kind of go back and forth on them. Catch one as it's going up, and then sell the other one, right? Like pretty much just keep on alternating them. As one goes down, stay away from it. As the other one's going up, hop in it and ride it up. Once it shows signs of consolidation, that's getting ready to have a sell-off or pullback, whatever you wish to call it, then dump it, get your money, jump in the other one, and just so on. You can keep literally playing back and forth between the two. That's what I cannot stress enough for you guys. But let's look at the 5-day of these. I think I want to look at Gas L. So yeah, Gas L is showing signs of pushing up of late. There's a resistance roughly around 18.12, showing signs of a pullback going into tomorrow morning. So say you saw it go down. Let's say we waited for some more confirmation right around 17.62. Say you wrote it up here to 18.07. Look at that, 2.5–3%. Nothing huge, but like I said, profits are profits. I actually personally probably, I probably wouldn't invest in this one specifically tomorrow. Just because what's SMA doing? Acting as a resistance. It's well above it, showing signs that it's getting ready to have a pullback. So we might see it go ahead and dip down to $16 again. So inverse to that, Gas X. What is it doing? The SMA is acting as a support. It's pretty much right around its support around 28.10. So look for it to also bounce off. I might consider investing in this one tomorrow because I mean it shows potential movements of what? What did it move this day? Almost 7%. So I don't think you'll get quite 7% out of it tomorrow, but what could you potentially get? I think if we wait for a confirmation of reversal, say around 28, let's go ahead and just say 28.53, just because that's where my bar landed. Let's see, you went ahead and wrote it up here. Look at that, almost 5% profit. So hopefully that does make sense to you guys. Like I said, I'm just telling you my thought process and everything. Don't think we have any questions still or any comments. And we still are on 42 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and get a drink real quick, and then we'll go ahead and just start wrapping a few things up, and I'll talk about tomorrow. So, as for tomorrow, like I said, probably going to hop on around 8:15, 8:20, close to market open, within like 10 to 15 minutes of market open. And when I say 8:20, like I said, I'm Central Time, so Eastern, you're talking like 9:20. Far West time, you're talking what, like 6:20 out there, something like that. So just plan accordingly if you're wanting to watch that live. And like I said, you're pretty much going to see this, but real time, live, active trading. I'll go back and forth between this, and like I said, I'm going to use Robinhood Web. I've never used Robinhood Web to actually trade. I've always done it from my phone. Now that Robinhood Web's available, I'm going to go ahead and try it out. I think it'll be pretty cool just hopping back and forth, tab to tab, and you guys will literally watch me execute trades if I make any. I'm assuming I will. I have not had a day where I did not execute a trade when I can, but like I said, I mean, if worse comes to worse, the best trade that you can make is to not make one at all. However, I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, you guys will see everything that I do, everything I think. I will pretty much just say out loud so you guys will see. And then, yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, I'll go over stocks regularly, like real time, and tell you guys if I would consider hopping in or dumping it or ride it out, see what happens, anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm really, out of all these that I looked at, I'm really interested in this MBR. I think that it has some potential. However, like I said, just we gotta be careful with this SMA indicator. It shows signs, even the RSI and everything shows signs that it should pull back. Will it be all day tomorrow? Will it be 2 day? I mean, like I said, it's just one to watch. I'm starting to burp, but yeah. So like I said, if you guys want to watch that, definitely make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that little bell icon. That way you will get the notification when I go live, and then you won't miss out on that. This is probably one of the only few days for the time being that I'm going to be able to do that until I go to my midnight to 8 shift for a little while. Go to the midnight to 8. The good thing about it is I'll get off at 8 o'clock. I'll come right home, eat a quick breakfast, hop on here, do some live streaming with you guys, and do some trading, and then I'll go to bed probably around noon. Hopefully I want to have all my trades done by noon most days anyways, but hit the sheets by noon. Girlfriend gets home around 5 o'clock, and then do it all over again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it and gain some value from it. If you liked it, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, if we don't have any other questions, I'll check that one last time. Don't have any questions. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good Easter. Thank you guys for watching. I think we had like 2 people watching. Yeah, so I mean, thank you guys for taking the time out of your Easter or whatever you do on Easter Sunday to watch this video and gain some more, hopefully, valuable information. But yeah, until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making those profits, achieving some financial freedom, and covering your profits. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Take it easy, guys.